show up or not, and if they're not, they're gonna get fined, so, the way it is. Mike, your boys, anything, seems like we have less case with the young ones, less, things, events going on. It just appears that we don't keep practicing that. Maybe someday we will. Yeah. Cards that's one indication, but that's play inside the play. I'm talking about the stuff in the parking lot, getting tossed. Well, yeah, but I think part of it is, Frank, that everyone understands. For one thing, more people, I think we're getting a better show up at games because we're being fairly steadfast about look, the camp schedule is how many times we told you, and everybody seems to be swinging with it without too much complaining. Doesn't matter. When I haven't had I've had 2 or 3 calls, and I once said, look, we have 500 teams. It's impossible for us to be switching stuff at the left. It's just do it, and everybody understands that, I think, and the longer we hold to the policy, thanks to Linda, and, you gotta hear. Those, and it seems like we've got less people, decide they can't play this weekend, and are wondering why we can't change it. One that still didn't get that yet, but I think they're starting to.
Don't have most of it, understand it. I mean, I've only had a couple.
This is getting better and better. It really is.
And it makes a big difference with the assigners, because the assigners should be changing referees.
Well, in the past, I think the pressure was on them to okay it, and that's we kind of eliminated that. So the pressure isn't on them to bad guys or good guys. It's the rules,
Exactly. Now the only, makes it easy and
And I think that we were clear all the way down the line. But again, people don't. Individual coaches miss it, but there's less and less every year now are not understanding at all how scheduling things. Makes it better.
I sent out an email regarding Region Cup because we know that Region Cup is using sites that have games already scheduled on them.
Yep.
And okay. Well,
I sent them out.
I sent the text to all the clubs and said, if you've got games, move them. And I've already heard from some clubs. So whether I heard from them all or not, I don't know. But I made it clear that we don't.
Did you see everybody on the board with that?
You should have gotten it. Everybody got it. And we did have a problem a couple weeks ago with ODP down in Cape Coral where they're from the fields from 2 clubs. Not all the games got moved, and so we did move them to another field at the same time, so it didn't have to change referees. But I had to have a lot of work to get this done because there's a lot of people had to cooperate. But we had those games and let them know that the club should have told us back in November when they found out, because we would make sure the games were moved in November. We shouldn't be doing this 4 days before game day. So I didn't want to repeat with Region Cup. So I'll get this from Frank afterwards, and then
after March,
maybe I contact all those clubs individually and say, you still got it. But
only going to be,
I don't need it written, but I'm just, yeah. But I'm going to make sure. I can send it out to the assigners. I don't send it out to the clubs because we shouldn't be distributing what F1 hasn't posted. You know that 301 complex is being used, and they have not moved their games yet.
Temple Terrace. They using those games?
Told that by one of the assigners. Yeah.
All right. Steve's not here. The admin, Linda, anything additional?
No.
Got anything?
for the sake of expediting
Everything's available for our eyes only. That'd be great. But we won't print them. Don't talk in your sleep either. Waste my time.
Okay, well then,
All right.
Who?
Thank you.
I know, I just got the call today that they've asked me to Plant City personal. I haven't got a list yet, because I was on the phone with Brian, he's coming at you all over. As well as.
Well, we'll have it, as soon as we have it, though, we will get it out to the teams, although you do already know the conference.
You already know a couple, and
All right, good.
some
good.
clubs have been very good and got everything moved.
But let's
and-
follow that up, and not
Yeah.
leave it till the end. Just keep-
Well, that email, those clubs that, they all,
Mhm.
Well, then, yeah,
Okay.
you may have some.
and you've already moved.
Okay.
They get your email, they should
You think?
suggest that, oh, well, we better act on this.
You would think.
Stay on top of that. I mean, sometimes
I will.
clubs get a little, and they're just, I know it sounds harpy, but that's really eliminated a lot of problems.
I'm trying.
Yeah, that's
But I can deal with what I know about.
my report. The only thing I've got to report, and we're going to go over again. I sent you all the Word document that I sent out as this USA, what actually came out of this thing we decided to do in November, which is to use USA's connections and information to get this combined team that we're going to try and put together at one of the clubs, FC Tampa, Everton, somebody will be the host team, just to be a namesake. This Liverpool team in March. Do you guys get that, Frank? Did you guys? Frank, there's something about your email. I'm going to have to find out. You're on my list. I sent it out. Did you get my thing about the meeting happening? I want everyone to come if I get there. Okay, but it must have come on your text. As a text, as an email. Anyway, so squared away as to the way this is going to go. Now, Linda's brought up a couple points where, Greg, I know you're out there. We need a few things. Linda we need to see him just to make sure, and that is
We need to see the permission to host international games and permission to host games. It's two things that if you are doing an event, you're supposed to have available, post on your website for people to see. They know what's covered. They know what the insurance coverage is. They're covered by FYSA insurance. If all the USA is going to do is advertise it, we still could be held liable.
I still think we've got to do our due diligence and get it done.
I think we need.
Gregor, if you're out there, email or text in because we've got to do the chat thing.
Yeah.
I'll get within the last 2 days, but he.
It is the documents from
I think it's they signed, right? If there's a permission.
Well, it's something you get from them.
Yeah.
We just be 100% clear we
Yeah,
have exactly what we need. All right, Greg, I'll get with you, but we have that. We need to probably post on our site.
If it's posted on FC Tampa site, that's fine. That's where it belongs. And we can see it.
No, we'd like to put it on the USA site just to see if any USA kids are in. There is. Well, I sent you how to contact information. Now, Linda, I vetted that with the board. Looked at Word document that Greg in. I think everything on it's pretty vanilla as long as we have the and we're out this week, like tomorrow or the next day.
Oh, I got to redo it because it's what he sent.
Get the information. It's good enough.
It starts with those documents, and then once I can see what permission has been granted.
I'm not concerned about the documents yet. What I want to do is get the information out to the clubs. That's quite read. Did you guys read that thing? I mean, that was good enough for me in terms of the information. What dates? Where we're going to try out. What? Right now, we're interested. If we find that we do have the proper permission for the clubs, then that's gonna be the end of it. We'll let everybody know that. But we need to get it out to the 17,
You mean
coaches.
tryouts for these teams?
Yes, if that's what it is.
It's
We'll
an
have it.
identification process more than it.
Yeah. We can't,
You can't.
You cannot.
well, the clubs can they not?
No. Can't
A
try out.
player from, that's registered, have them try out for any, Mike Strickland.
We'll get that straightened away with Greg. I understand FYSA, he's already talked to them about the concept and what he's doing, so apparently they don't have a problem. We'll make sure that they are squared away as to what we are going to do. And I believe it's Jennifer and somebody else. Greg, you'll square that away with me tomorrow as to who you've spoken to. So we do that, we want to pull the trigger, get it out to the coaches, get it out to the clubs. Alan, I got to you. Kurt, you got a team, 17s or 19s that's up in the top of the bracket there, one of those age groups that probably should know, 16s or 17s. And him, he's got two actually that look like they're, we'll have kids on them, but we can, I want to reiterate, that was the first try. This is the first try we were getting any international recognition where we're trying to get somebody involved to play, and we realize how difficult it is, but I think we have everything covered. If don't, we won't do it. We won't even up on a field. So, Red Card site, reminder, upload proof service to USA site. We've lost guys already, coaches that were I guess lost out. There's no such thing. Now let me ask you something. There is no red card for a coach.
Correct.
Show, but there's a red card.
There's not a card. It's
He's okay. And the send off is analogous to our red card because we've had guys come back the next day, and we've had at least 3 that I know of, and maybe more will probably in the executive session. Sign everybody out there. Your coaches, if you get sent off, you don't next game, no matter what, you don't even think about it. You don't go to the bench, you don't sign in, you can't coach that game.
It's already on our website.
I know, but that's okay. The website's good. This is another reminder to everybody. This is Denny reminding you that,
Yeah,
because we've lost at least 2 or 3 guys because they weren't aware of it or didn't follow it. I don't know which one. And it's
in the younger age group.
No, one was
17
17, although it did go to under 11. Well, and that went to under 11s.
And then this last 2 were
It's
under
a little
11.
more confusing for him.
Well, the under 11s are usually first-year coaches.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was the same coach, actually. That's the problem. Is he coached the same guy. He went on under 11 games.
No.
He did.
It's the same team. This under 11 is the same team.
He did the same team, and he also went, no. I thought he got excluded on the under 17.
No. 17 is TBU. The 11th is Northport.
No, the coach at TBU has 2 teams.
Oh, he might have 2 teams, but
One is 17, and the other one's 13.
funny tracked, and we only told them about the 17s. We didn't even check on the
He
others.
can't coach the 13 girls.
No.
Yeah, but I think that's the issue, right? I mean,
No, 17s actually.
It was the 17.
Because they only got,
17, that's only
That's the 17.
Yeah, exactly.
Even for the 17s, he didn't serve. That's
He didn't.
In the tournament.
He didn't serve it anywhere. I mean, he participated in 5 games, the TBU one, but he was
but
ejected.
some of them in another age group, which is unfortunate. It's going to affect both age groups.
See, and that situation, I know that you got up on the website, but that becomes a club.
Yeah, absolutely. We're just reminding the clubs to be especially
Whoever's running
vigilant.
the club should be aware of that
Yes,
situation.
yes. That's why we're repeating it tonight.
Is she a coach or is she a director?
Coach, someone should have told him.
5 teams? Oh, no, you kidding me?
Coach 5. He coached 5 games.
At $6,000 a team?
5 teams. I mean,
I'll take 10 teams.
5 games, 17 before.
Accountability, are you kidding me?
No, Mary, he coached 5 games.
Yeah, he had coached. He coached 5 games before I caught it. It was weekends. Like, the weekends, we should have gotten a report. I contacted him and said,
More
where is it?
Is all those games are, well, we're gonna talk about this.
Yeah, don't
Well,
worry.
this guy's already gone to...
Annual DOC Club President meeting
Yeah.
slated for March 1st. We'll get it in the executive session.
Okay, I had that down from 2 to 5. But what? Yeah.
5? See what it is. See what we've got posted. I think it's 2 to 5.
I why I had those times down.
I don't have any idea what March 1st is, but that's okay, we're good. It's awful early. Seems like awful early, but that's okay, I don't know what else is going on. We're scheduled. We're gonna have coming soon, Joan Judd. Do you want to discuss that now, or do you want to do that later?
Got it down.
2 to 6. Oh, it should be before 6, you know.
There, 2 to 6.
It's on the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
On the website, folks, for any questions. The Judd applications, we want to take that up right now. George suggested, he said, if we get more kids applying, should just let kids in. My thing is, we have a budget of 10,000, that would mean move the number down from 500 to you start dividing by 30 or 40 kids. At 40 kids, it's $250 each. Personally opposed to, I think we ought to keep it at 520 kids. Which was saying if you have a lot, it would be easier for us, which I know is true, to let more go.
Average between 5 and 6 kids at 100. Right now, with college costs for books, because I just went through with my son, he's a senior, he gets it online, or from Amazon. So, Joan Judd that he got 2 years ago is covering his book.
Yeah. It's a good, I mean, we're the only ones I know of, and anywhere, in any form that is giving anything to anybody. The 10,000 is good, and I think for 500 each, you know, if we decide next year to put it as 250 and we put 40 kids in it. I'm in favor of it. I don't know anybody else. I mean, it's up to you guys, really. Want to keep it what it is, 520 kids?
It's gotta be a value. I mean, I think, you know, even 500.
Even 500.
500 is fine.
Our point was we wanted to make fewer and a lot more money, but the kids, they don't really say so in it, but they said, you know, geez, it was never designed like that, so we weren't trying to give a kid a year's worth of it was a thank you and a
but my thing is that because it's the league's money, our league's money,
no.
we should get some of the national. You know, people should be talking about what this league is doing. And not what they are doing, it's what we are doing. So that needs to be a better presentation at our, March 1st meeting would be a good one. You gotta be, we gotta be the ones that's getting all the voters. We're the ones giving the money.
The idea that we had is, let's make it a real impact, because 500 now is not what it was 20 years ago when we first, and we had more than $1,000 to give away, and it was just maybe 500.
We brought it up from...
No, but I'm saying, so when we started it, it was not a.
Yeah, but we wanted to make it a little more.
Absolutely, we want to maybe make 4, divide 20,000 4 ways and make it 5 each, to really have an impact on a kid's life. They're on a committee, like that, they thought it's getting away from the original concept of what it was. I got no problem with that, but I mean, I thought Mike's point is well taken. If we really want to think about it, we can determine what it is. It doesn't matter what they think in a sense. But as a courtesy to them, since they were ongoing and have been doing a lot of work on it and have done a tremendous amount of work for no, real recognition, that it was a bold thing that we wanted more children to, to have the money. Well, that's the way they felt. And along with it, last year, next budget, when you budget again and you want to do that, then you can change it. We can make it anything we want, and we can institute another scholarship. We can keep Joan Judd and do something else if that's what we want to do. Joan Judd was a convenient way, I thought, to really, make flash and give, $2,500. You get them at least for the first year. It's a heck of it. Now it's something Yep,
Well,
worth.
I think it gives some value to the league, to, if you wanna play, if you want to get $1,000, then you play in the USA League, and it's a value as opposed to now. Last year we gave it to everybody that applied.
Well, yeah, no, there were some rejections, but I mean,
Well, we know, yeah.
it became an entitlement, or it became a clipping a coupon and sending it in.
With
And it's-
everybody who filled the application out correctly.
Yeah.
There's a bunch that don't fill it out correctly. Or,
Yeah.
They only get 250.
Again, we left 10,000 in the budget to do it, and we can spend it any way we want, actually. But here is there anybody's got any different idea than let's leave it 520 kids?
I think we need to.
Okay. So they're going to vote on that. There's no. Are we all?
Want to participate?
You make a motion there. Make a motion that will keep the Joan Judd at $10,000 children, 500 each.
Making a level, or we have a level of $10,000. $500
Increments.
increments. 20.
All right. Aye. All right. Keep that 5.
no.
No, this will make, Georgia is a 70 kids, you're gonna have to sort through it. Well, okay, but now it puts a little more value on it.
So if I kid plays, it's a U12.
Well, I don't know that
They have to be currently, the process is always, they've got to be currently a USA.
your question is there any more weight to a kid that played 6 years in USA than 1 year?
Yeah.
I don't know how they determine.
See, but
That's up to the committee.
But that's something for next year, because that way, that if we're going to increase the value of the scholarship, that becomes.
But if we're gonna
becomes a
do that, Coco, we're gonna have to draw as a board some very specific,
criteria.
Mhm.
yes.
Right.
I mean, for people that have 6 years, will probably do that.
Yeah, but I mean, those.
It's not, sometimes it's, well,
And I think what they're doing outside activities, PPA, exactly, yeah. Yeah, Marine?
well, yeah, take money, they don't give it. It's the reverse. Did I say that? Oh, wow.
Okay, so we'll work on getting the application up and open and all that, and we'll send it out to the,
Can I just ask that, on the Georgia, do we have any, who gets a
No, right now, we don't. We have a committee that does, and they have a,
none of them give them guidelines.
they're giving.
I think you're right. I mean, right now, they've done a great job. Look, these guys have done this for how long, Frank? 15, 20 years. And they've done, I mean, the kids, they work through them, they look at least. This is gonna be a little more difficult for them. And we don't have any guidelines, I don't think. And I don't know if they do realize, I'm sure in their own minds they do, though. These little guys, as George plays, and all that group, they're just regular guys that are gonna make good decisions, I think. If we have to put more money in it.
They seem sincere and all that, but to say they did a lot when they got all the applications, we wrote a check for everybody. I don't know that.
They weeded out those that didn't fill them correctly.
Yeah.
They missed, if there's criteria of what has to be submitted, so what they throw away, those that fill out and give them everything.
5 blank.
Well, I mean,
That's it.
still some work
Yeah.
though, Mayor, for nothing, for no,
Mhm.
nothing. They're not a board, they're not anything, they're just doing it out of the goodness of their heart because they were there started and they followed through. But I fear if we're gonna make it, if we're gonna change it in any way, shape, or form, and there's more significance to it, I agree, guys, gotta come up with some kind of, criteria, at least rough, ordinal, listed in some order of importance. They give it to us. All right. Good of anything that's for the game here tonight, Mike? No, nothing for. All right, motion to adjourn. Be adjourned. Keep moving, yeah, 9, we're shooting for 9 tonight, we're trying to get out.
It's a work. It's a good way. Hey, that's the motivation right there.
right.
That's a motivation. Could has got to work.
5 minutes, that's it, 5 minutes, and we'll start the next one. Colt under 19 game. You asked, I went to George twice.
Be careful, there's wires.
Yeah. I went to twice and said, George, are you even aware that there's a game? Oh, I didn't know. He had no idea. He said, it's got to be our girl that's, is there, no, I know.
Exactly.
I got you there's money for it. In other words, there's money for the rest for it, but, they don't show up. Well, I don't, he never got back to me. He was saying, Benton River. Benton River. That game is not, I'll tell you, I put on right now, it's not gonna get played, but you said you better show up, otherwise we're gonna get fined, so. Yeah. He's not replied yet. Now, he may have solved it, but he hasn't told me he solved it. No, wait a minute, he would. Well, they have another problem for George. He's playing districts. Yeah, well, he might have been knocked out within last night, Tuesday. Mitchell, them.
He's coaching high school too now.
George has always coached.
I thought he took the Trinity.
He's aware of it.
Yeah, I told him I told him to check it and everything else.
He's aware of it.
So,
For this Sunday, we're not gonna have those practice just like this U17.
week, right?
For this Sunday.
No,
For this Sunday.
we're gonna have to push that back till February.
Right.
No, it's the 21st or whatever it is.
No, actually, his email to me, he wanted two appeals available.
Do you have that email?
That's right here.
Word.
It's right here.
Good. What's
It
that
starts,
say?
it says USA League has a very special opportunity. It's in March. That's the problem, because it's not us. It's the Liverpool.
It is.
But my Liverpool has requested one of our coaches to play games with our 17 boys and 19 boys. These will take place on 26th, 5 to 7:30.
It's a different email.
Yeah, it was original. We pushed it back. Once it's running,
He said he wanted the kids together.
Yeah.
Because an appeal. So I don't have to have a feel for him this week.
And we're probably even more likely to use that rain date,
running a line for $10 an hour.
which is February 1st. You got plenty of time at that point. That gives them a little more, some of the kids that got through districts do, that are really work themselves out too. Heard from anywhere in, north,
No.
okay.
Was pretty tough with us.
That is gonna, it's a tremendous heartburn right there. Very good. Very good.
Yeah. I wanna go do that.
But we gotta make sure that the eyes are right, because you know how that.
No international stuff.
Not only that, you get it on that, and we didn't do something, she knows what we gotta have. I'm not making she's kinda jumped in, so I gotta see it. Gotta see it. And she knows, Linda knows exactly what we need, so we need to stay with that. Ray's been over there twice, talked to him, sat down, and I don't know what he got finished with him. I was frustrated that, it's another thing. But, everything's, I worked everything out with him. I wanted to see that from MPSA in some way, shape, or form. And what Linda's talking about is there's something we should have, Yeah.
So,
Some of these things, Linda, are all things that we have to adjudicate.
Most of them are gonna be very quickly reported, but I'm gonna ask you, are we gonna find these teams? That's the only thing. But most of these, and I just wanted to, I think we do, but you told me I couldn't find without.
No, because we're not, you want it to be your
force.
That's why they're here.
Let's see, give me 15 to 1. And what's the actually voted for the Wi-Fi for his school?
And getting a cup, a coffee, and then, did you want to keep the, webinar open for the executive session?
You don't like that.
I mean, there's nothing on here that I think is private.
I think it's part of the, anybody who was,
I think,
in the old days, did we ever have a closed session?
not on this stuff.
In the past, I sat through them many a time.
There were closed sessions.
Yes.
Not in this stuff. This stuff is
I
not.
sat through the executive session, so it wasn't closed.
This wasn't closed. There's stuff that needs to be closed, but not this.
Let's put it back on the web.
I had to shut it off.
Oh, really? Good. So we-
How are you doing? Yeah.
All right, we're back.
Yeah, no.
Executive committee is in. Pros and appeals, none. Old business. Business.
Thank you.
Guys. Any business, Frank? You got anything from 2 weeks ago? New business. Let's start. Let's go right down them, man. All right, you, Linda?
I'm pulling them up individually.
They're all taken, Coco, they're all taken for, they're all small.
You hit trust, snag 'em.
No. What-
2385. This is a no-show. This, U11 girls, all the citrus, U11 girls was a no-show. They emailed Braden River the morning of the game and said they weren't showing up. That was it. It's that the players didn't, the team didn't have enough players.
Discretion on, don't we just have don't we have a 250 or
It's 50. 50 plus,
It should be left to our discretion. It just puts us in a bad spot.
it's 250 plus ref fees,
Okay,
because Braden River had to pay the ref fees. And,
they're in.
so what, 50, right? That
Whatever
covers,
ref fees.
we consider, when we fine, it's $100, because even though there's different ages, it's just 100 you have to repay, so
Do it. I think that's fair.
350, okay? 2621. Florida Spirit No Show, U14 boys. Florida Spirit No Show.
The same?
It should say $350. Charge, when we collect that $100, I always send it to the club that pays the ref fee.
We know one or no shows by any chance, or we don't know?
Well,
Give it anyway.
let me just go in and see if there's anything in the
Is there email
chat.
trail or chat?
Well, I won't have an email email trail. I'll only know if there's something in the chat. Hold on, 7/21. Lord, here.
The young guys, there's no high school or no nothing else
I
going
don't-
on.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have it. Sorry, I don't know of any reason. Okay? I need something on this computer. I think a pop-up blocker, but anyway. All right.
What are they saying? I see two of them, so all of them should be the same, right?
I think so. I'm gonna go through.
What are they saying when they call the morning of the game?
And then the kids got sick, they called last night, who knows, you know, that's what just the 11-year-old girls are not feeling.
We got.
And the one thing on this particular weekend, it was this particular one, I only know because I'd received an email, Greater Tampa Bay, the Largo Halloween tournament had been canceled in October
Right.
for rain,
Oh,
and they rescheduled it for 12/13.
right.
These teams never rescheduled their games. It was all of a sudden.
About the game. Okay.
I know that that's probably some of these. It is with Greater Tampa Bay. But it's still, you know that you've got conflict.
That's getting back to, we have an incredible amount of, club help. All you got to get in touch with either one of the, either Sherry or Linda, and it will be, in other words, you will know exactly what you have to do.
We have the clerical help, but they don't have it.
They have it available. We told them 25 times at every meeting, at least different ways, that get us, we'll help you. And this way, email us, call us, whatever. Everybody that's come to us for any help has gotten, there's no excuse for not having things covered. If you don't know, get in touch with us. We will solve it for you and tell you where you're at.
It's too late. It's too late. I mean,
Well, beforehand. My point is that we really have made an enormous amount of resources available that bend over backwards for everybody in the league. And at this point, I don't see how you can, say sense to someone to miss a match and not know that you can't.
Well, y'all kind of answered my question, because there was a reschedule when I knew 3 weeks in advance, because Tony sent out to all the referees, hey, this tournament's being rescheduled, blah, blah, blah.
Yep, gonna be.
Are y'all still available?
And the teams knew when it was being moved
Right,
to.
so they got their notice.
They should have changed their games then.
That makes sense.
And you have an enormous amount of teams, or a reasonable amount of teams that were in that tournament that did reschedule.
Exactly.
If everyone was, if we had 40 of them.
Just a few that.
Yeah, U11 girls, Citrus, they got only a couple teams up there. They're not really tuned that far. And 11 girls, they're kind of learning things. And there's probably one on the board really tuned into USA. They don't have that much going on. So you see how they just fall behind, and I get it. All right, it's all right.
Okay, this is the U10 boys. In Northeast notified, Azalea, they weren't showing up that morning.
How about the Floor Spirit? Is that that's a 26-21, is that already done?
What was it?
Okay.
Right, but this is U10, so I didn't know what you wanted to do with U10.
When do you start?
What do you want to do with one? On their policy?
Well, it's U10, number one, the ref fees, there only is one ref, there's not a.
30s, but it's 10s. I think what you're saying is that, look, this is kind of, this is
We
kind
didn't
of.
have a referee assigner, it's not like they're, this is our referee assigner, which is the big deal in all the rest of them.
Well,
You not have something in the bylaws on that?
but it's the other team came to the fields too, I assume.
Well, in email, so they didn't.
Okay.
To me, there has to be some kind of.
I agree.
So that they know that this is not something that they can.
But 250 seems to be a little bit heavy for a 10.
350.
Yeah,
Yeah, 350.
So I don't think 250 is, because it's the same disrespect.
Okay.
But
It's the same disrespect. For me, it's the same disrespect.
we're getting
We'll
used to
see what the referee
disrespecting.
thinks.
But we can pass on the referee because we don't pay them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're not
There's only one referee at that age group, so, I mean, so it's not like
Usually assigned.
No.
punitive.
So the referee didn't show up.
But $250 is just the cost, not for,
And
the $100 is for the referee fees. So just waiving the referee fees.
okay, you okay with that?
So what,
$250 waiving a ref fees.
I gotta write this down.
So it's 250 plus on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or no?
So for the others, $350.
So we're reimbursing Azalea the rest fees. The others we're reimbursing. I'm assuming they paid.
Was it the Zania? Is there still?
It's Ellis County United.
Yeah, I can find out.
Yeah, they pay themselves, right?
Yeah.
We don't pay them. So,
Well,
We
but
paid the rest.
we would have had to.
so they get the money from the
Yes,
other team.
yeah, absolutely.
They get it from the other team.
But I always send the money for the rest to the club.
I can find out.
Oh, so then it'll come out of this $250.
Yeah, but it's the club, period.
I do, it'll come out of the $250. The other $50 plus the rest.
That way we don't have to get back and forth.
No, I don't want
We're
to.
sending it to you whether you had a ref or not. You gotta take money or.
I send the money out and then we get it from the club.
Right.
Otherwise,
But
very
the
confused.
club gets it, so
Yeah.
we don't want, we don't want to change the system either.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
This is the next one. All I know is that. Okay. Oh, I know.
That sounds like a coach on a sideline.
Yeah. Ben didn't show up at Winter Haven. I know,
What are these groups?
12 girls. I assume that since the referee entered a game report, he got paid.
50 plus.
$44.83. Dennis, U12 girls. Okay. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I know that they didn't show up. Yeah. I'm going to go to this week's time-consuming mess. I haven't a score yet. I want you to tell me what to do for the score. I saw a game report. I got to go over here. There's 2 game reports for this game, so I have to pull it up from here. Missing one more AR report. Oh, he finally put it in. Okay. So, because this is the FSA wants. But anyways, this is the center rep. Can you read that? I'll show you. You can read it?
No,
Oh, yeah, I got it.
In the 10th minute of the second half, player, whatever, of Northport made an attempt to hit the defending goalkeeper on the goal line by making a spinning back fist. I don't know what that was. Anyway. The goalkeeper was just picking up the ball to restart the game, and it missed him. I called the player to me, and we went to AR. He saw the keeper do an action that caused a retaliation. When he said he did not see anything wrong by the keeper, I proceeded with giving the player a red card. It made both coaches of Team Northport angry. Coach Antonio Vanilla stepped to the field and started talking down. You can't give a red card. You have to think about the game. It's real insignificant for the kids to me that I did not give a card because the AR did not see anything while repeatedly pushing me on the chest with 2 fingers from his left hand. The other, Troy Cawthorn, started swearing and throwing a lot of F-bombs with a loud voice. You effing do this, F you, this is wrong. You anything, you can't effing give a red card. First, I sent off the coach. After that, Con became very aggressive and abusive at this effect, directed at me. I abandoned the game. After I told Coach to leave, he kept on pushing my right chest and telling me that I could not have made that call because AR did not see anything. with coaches left, and it was abandoned. I felt very intimidated by Coach Antonio. He is tall and he pushes very aggressive. I felt his finger pushed between the ribs in a very unpleasant way. Their safety was also the reason to terminate the match. This was 3-1 when the game was terminated. The team left the field immediately, and I waited until most everyone was gone.
Was this game in Northport?
It was at Florida Spirit. Anyone?
Who was leading? Who was leading the game?
Leading would be Florida Spirit.
Florida Spirit.
So I think we should. It was 3-1.
When did it happen?
Saturday.
I know, no, what's that game?
Oh, it was the 10th minute of the second half.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Boys? I thought.
Well, it's, I mean,
So, boys.
it's the coach, it's not the kids.
Yeah.
Although the spinning,
Yeah, U11.
that's a 10-year-old kid.
A 10-year-old kid, and they're talking like this?
Yeah, Crawford.
I'm reading this, and I'm going, U11?
Well, FISA's gonna take care of it.
Oh, yeah,
We had three conversations concerning this. I was at Regents meeting that day, and I got a phone call.
I was the game report maybe an hour after David
No?
put it in,
Not him.
and I sent it to Jim
He doesn't represent.
Jim Vard,
Why is he getting?
and, let me see, when did
You don't
David
know
put it in?
what's happening.
They put it in at 2:30. So I saw it maybe around 3 o'clock.
That's the same issue we
I
had.
sent it to Jim Vars because it was missing some stuff, which David has since put in. And by night, FFR had it. I mean, he did the right thing. David reported it up the chain.
I got one for
And
it's not
so,
Good.
Start me in the chest up all night.
That's what I said. It's an assault.
it's an assault.
Assault on a referee, felony.
All right.
And so then, anyway,
So,
this is on to FYSA. I mean, we don't have to do anything with it. I mean, both coaches 3 games. And it's gone, and I already had communication from Becky, so that,
Well, one thing you gotta be careful around home.
Precedent and all that stuff.
So the one thing we gotta be careful about, we got a snit. Frank, remember last time, we sent something to somebody and said, we got this might be assault. If they call you or not, say, thanks a lot, I'll pass it on, because any one of us that get a call, I don't care whatever our role is, we gotta be really careful, because we got, this Great River got all questionable when we need to get excited about it and interdicted it to something that hadn't even been reported yet. We gotta be careful, because that's gonna come back to us, either make me, you, another one that'll get a call because you're a ref, or because you're in the, and you get a call on the side, that's unofficial, there's nothing official that you should be doing or saying, any of us on the board at all, but we see a report, then we tell them.
and we can tell them. And that's,
They shouldn't be calling anybody.
right. And the referee did the right thing, because he's the
You
one
got a
that
lawyer involved in this, all of a sudden he's saying you prejudiced the whole thing by calling somebody. I mean, but you calling it before you even reported it.
Let a judge work it out. I'm telling you, he'll look at a 12-year-old, look at this old guy, and they're going,
No, I understand that, but I'm saying, we want to step away from this, we want to step away from. We tend to get in the middle of these things, and, later on you find out, we should have kept our mouth shut until we saw everything. We didn't have it last one, we didn't even have the report written
Where's the,
properly, at least this way we got it, but.
we got it, he sent it on, and then USA heard from FYSA with the documents. So we weren't saying FYSA, here this is.
Right.
It was FYSA.
Which is,
Well, yeah, the last time there was a rebuke, for us too, because we, we didn't report it in a timely manner, we didn't have the paperwork, we know why, but I mean.
well, we didn't initiate it quick.
correct.
Well, right. Now,
But the information traveled without us having the right thing. So the information got ahead of us, and they said, well, we knew about this happened this weekend, and we're saying, well, we don't have the paperwork yet, and so we got the rebukes, that's what I'm saying, for everybody, tranquil.
To do anything on this.
No,
this was, and,
They've actually moved ahead with this guy, and they'll update it as we send it in.
and I've got one more, I got another AR report to say.
Court scores 3-1.
That's what.
Let me ask you a question. If the other team, what if the other team were up? What if the team of the two coaches were up 3-1? What would we do? No, that's what my question is.
It'll be a forfeit because the game was abandoned because they lost their coaching.
Yeah, that goes that.
Okay, so either way, they're not gonna, it's either gonna be 3-0 or 3-1.
We're giving the good team, the team that behaves,
Well, that's,
the,
Neither one of the teams.
yeah.
well, I didn't see anything bad from Florida Spirit. There was nothing here bad from Florida Spirit in any of the referee reports, so,
Well, if the goalie ducked, I mean, come on, man.
You're speaking the ball.
you know, but anyway. Okay.
Sure.
Now, the next piece on this, which we don't have to deal with, is that this team, this Northport U11 team, had a game the next day, which both these coaches coached, after being
Yeah,
tossed.
well, that was the why I said in the thing, please, everybody understand. Well,
I think so. I think, yeah.
one of the
yeah.
things that Linda, I said, Linda, do we eventually get to Northport in some way, shape, or form and say, hey, guys, you got these two guys, you want to take a look into this? She had to take out all the paperwork, so we don't. So as soon as we do get to, I mean, as a side thing, we should be getting to the club and saying, yeah, can you do something about this? I know we did with Auburndale, and they really responded. I mean, it's something, so, you know, we're.
They've notified, they,
No.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. We should know anyway. Linda's point to me was, A, it's in the record. In other words, this is how this thing proceeds. You should be.
Every club contact.
But we know the clubs, a lot of times don't pick that, you know, the club contact.
We haven't heard back yet.
I believe we did. I've answered them.
Yeah.
Yes,
But it
I mean,
doesn't matter. We also told the official, besides the game reports and everything else, which they should be following, or well, you should have said, hey, we got a problem here.
mhm.
Also, don't wait for that after we get all of the information, then we get in touch with the club and say, let's get this, fellas, you know, just to help them out, to pop it up.
Well, no,
especially somewhere like Northport that may be not as used to FYSA.
Because I think you got to direct this, you got to contact the president and the DOC.
We do.
And just say,
We
look,
contact.
you got an issue, and we want you to have a look into it, because.
They were notified. I mean, Sherry sent it out Tuesday morning to the club.
Yeah, so, we
And-
back from them?
Yeah, they got it. They know about it.
We've been doing.
Yeah.
Taking a record,
Okay.
and notifying them, and nothing there.
Right. But the only reason I worry, Frank, is because we had the Romaldo thing, you know, unless you're Romaldo, I mean, that's stand. But the record wasn't gonna do us any good there at all, because no one was really paying attention to who the agent of record. We had those two teams out in Pinellas County.
That's,
Our situation is with, hopefully, we won't have this, we have clubs, you know, that have two or three teams that just aren't organized, but we just want to be especially vigilant that we get to anybody that we can.
Whenever we have a red card or an ejection, an suspension, we send notice, once we've got all the pieces, to every officer in the club. Got listed and got soccer gets it. So it's the agent of record, the registrar, the DOC is listed, whoever they have listed.
Yeah.
So they
Well, do you
got
have
a copy.
any, Northport teams in your age groups? Okay. All right, so there's you. Okay.
So, they have responded, because Sherry
They
says,
play the
please
firehouse?
respond to this email. So we know
Fire with the firehouse.
we have a response that the club knows. So,
Yeah, I mean, and because, you know, in the end, it's,
Firehouse.
we can hold them responsible for,
Firehouse.
to control these people. I mean, the fact that the club allowed two coaches
Oh, might be.
to be on the field the next day.
Firehouse.
They didn't know.
they didn't know.
If it's a 7 or 11, I guarantee you it's the first season
That was
they
where
coached,
Northport,
you
is
know.
the only field.
Yeah, well,
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, well, yeah, but there'd be a checks and balances, but we need the club to know that, right?
You're not gonna know if somebody got caught.
so right now, all competitive coaches at least,
But
and they're taught that. Of course. So, what do they need?
And
I'll coach good
You post, Frank, you post the speed limits on the highways, and there are all kinds of people breaking
This
the
is in the
speed.
past 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
Past, which is happening.
That's, who's is that, FYSA? Well, of course.
Nobody.
Yeah, I mean, probably one of the things that we gotta do is that, you know,
Be written in a rule, and it's a nice little pretty rule, but who's entering that?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Well, that's not our problem, that's a club.
That's a club issue.
Not us. It's not up to,
yeah, well, that's a state issue, right? I mean,
yeah, that's not us at all.
yeah,
Oh,
We got enough stuff.
That goes to where the league.
Yeah.
But I don't go and
Thank you.
read for every, we can't, I'll go through it.
alrighty, next.
Okay, the next is 1841, which is the game after, this game, which the coach participated in, which I sent to FYSA, and they start taking care of it. We don't have to deal with it because it's all part and parcel of the first one. That's done. However,
Forfeit, right?
Yeah, that's easy.
so we're gonna give Auburndale a 3-0 forfeit.
Yeah.
But that's my next one. I just wanna make sure before I do it. Oh.
Because they had no coach.
Poetic justice here, all
Yeah.
of them get the win, after all the trouble they had last year.
Yeah, but they responded, I mean, to their.
Yeah, when we said we weren't gonna let them back in the league.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, no, they even had a couple this year, and they jumped right on it. Look, that's all you can do, you know.
But now
No one's
that's
perfect.
all
Yeah, but
the,
These guys are
they're
working.
getting benefit of it,
Yeah.
right?
that's all the game issues have been so far. I'm gonna go and look up 4483 on the chat to see if there's any chat there.
Let's keep moving while she's doing it. Joan Judd, we've discussed. I think we've also voted on it, so we're done there. End of the year awards, Okay. Talking about the winners of what we do for the winners
Yeah.
of the,
What?
my suggestion, but it's not gonna,
Magnet, yeah.
they're not gonna be state cup. They're not going to the state cup. My suggestion to make it,
So how many are we talking about?
uh,
All the age groups, boys and girls, right?
yeah,
I mean, we got fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was.
We were just thinking of doing it at the Premier level, right? We were just thinking of doing the Premier level? When did we just?
Well, let's start with the Region Cup eligible teams, which would be 11 and up.
Yeah.
11 and up,
12.
maybe we got.
11 and up, yeah.
How many divisions?
It's not 11.
12 and up. Region Cup, yeah. 11 and up.
Because these are Region Cup entries. Suggestion is we give the teams that win the league, from first division, the money for the state cup entry. But
State Cup or?
yeah, but well, because he was state cup, because state, but luck could be in a state cup. So that now we go back and say, well, if we're going to do something like that, it'd be region, whichever you enter, right? But with about 50.
I think I heard like 15.
Yeah, 50 times, for 200. Too much? Too much.
Converting them their entry fee for region state
Too
cup,
much,
is that what
too
you're
much,
talking about?
yeah, that's too much money.
You're talking about one per division, it's a lot. When it's one per age group,
Yeah.
then about
Well, but
14.
then you're,
You see, to me, I was just,
just as much for the guys in the second division to win,
No.
the talent and everything else, it's just as big an achievement.
I mean, you know, to me, I'm looking for that incentive situation that if you want to get to the Premier League, and you Premier League, then the reward for you.
If everyone's all right with it, that one, how many premier, and that would be well, region cup.
Yeah, Region Cup, yeah.
And
It'll only be
probably
one
do it in
age
the
group.
and only the big field kids, maybe, so limited
To me, to me, that's what I would
so
do.
it'd be 10.
Yeah. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 12.
12 teams.
12.
Right. There's a 300 each, maybe 5.
Yeah, fine, I think.
Still 4.
$4,000. To me, that is, you know, if trying to, again, except from all the other leagues, we got to do things differently. And I said, if you say to the Premier League, or winning Premier League, we'll up your entrance fee to Region Cup or State Cup.
You know, we do sponsor the other leagues just the same. We're playing hard.
I understand
Well, I get your point.
but, you know,
Maybe we do something else for
Well, we are, but here's the deal, though, we're in the Premier, now this past year, really we tried to hold true you on the Premier League, correct? Top 8 teams, you
Correct.
win, if you were new, you drop back down,
That's fine.
all right?
yeah.
So, if we're trying to hold the line on the Premier League, I think that's the level.
To me, I agree.
I mean, you know what I'm going at there, so that's where really, if we want them to aspire, we want them to stay with the club, and if you get to the Premier League, we're gonna help you out with some stuff.
Yeah, that's the incentive to.
Well, it's not in the budget, we have the money, but it's not probably in the, it's not anywhere in the budget for
Let me
that
go
kind
see
of
what we
awards.
got, well, let me see what we got in the budget for this year.
If we put something in or not.
I think that, hold on,
I'm throwing that out.
No, I'm all right with that, whatever you guys want to do.
put in $1,000 for trophies.
Okay.
See,
And we end up keeping, how many trophies you got in your garage, Sherry?
Yeah.
Want to do that?
Start cashing in.
And I don't know what to do.
And anyway, everybody says, look,
give it to the one.
we didn't even get a trophy.
I'm begging them.
I know.
I'm back, I have
Yeah. Not this good. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
And when you gave away the T-shirts, those were hanging
Oh, yeah,
around
yeah.
everybody's
Yeah.
garage.
See,
Yeah.
Well, they were even harder.
yeah,
They get them out there.
to me, I just feel that if we want to separate this organization from other youth organizations, we have to throw things out there that you have to stay with us.
Trophy really a throw. If you don't pick it up, you don't pick it up.
Nobody, the fact,
I know.
Sherry has got so many, it's obviously
But
not
that
really
doesn't
put value behind
mean
it.
that the guys this year, and you'll get 5 of them to say, hey, we won, we would pick up the trophy. We don't know if they really would.
Yeah, well, we'll give the trophy to everyone below Premier League.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
We'll give them a trophy, and then the Premier League gets an entry fee into the Snow Region Cup.
Just gonna have to try and buy it as good as you can.
What's that?
Well, the suggestion is, and we gotta put that on the table for a vote, but I mean, is the pre gets a end of the tournament, state or region cup only. Can't use,
Wait a minute,
can't use it for something
how
else.
much was the fee enter? I mean, state cup's like $1,000, isn't it?
No, we're not gonna get many of them.
How are you gonna pay for it if games are still going past reasons?
What is reimbursement?
Reimbursement.
They already had
Take
to
it off
pay
their
back
next
in
year.
November. They had to put in back in November.
They're already got it, yeah. It's figuring 4,000, it may be more than that, it's 1,000, but you do get some.
You get back, yeah.
So we give them what the net is, which is 750 or 500 or 750.
Yeah, and to me, I
But I would guess out of those 12, we're only gonna have full state cup entries, 5, maybe.
I don't know. I mean, I would.
Could be more, could be up to, $7,000. Again, we just don't have it budgeted, then we'll know from here on.
Have it allocated.
We don't have budgeted. We do have we have a fund, we still have a balance, so it's not like we couldn't pay for it. It's not budgeted at about $125,000, so we'll see how we come out.
We got a few more meetings, referee meetings.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cut back on the referees to get the trophies, you know. And that's the
Yeah, they've
irony
got
of that.
everything
We'll take the trophy they didn't give last year, give the referee of the year.
Yeah.
Until this year, I've always done the age group that there's also. What did it change when we got one all into March?
Well, because the membership voted on that because it was too tight a time. Their argument was we don't have games, A.
Yeah.
We could cut them off. We don't whole season out of it.
But from my perspective of the last couple of years,
October
y'all
15th.
really spread it way out. The quality of your games go way down. Because I was
agree.
running to win the division. I got to Venice. I only had players at that time.
Oh.
And then my season went.
Now remember, you don't have to in other words, you're not gonna be scheduled after the season's over. don't you have to agree?
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, but one thing, up until 2 years ago, it really wasn't stretched that far.
No.
And then last
2 years ago.
it really caught me, that's the first, I mean, it was a struggle,
Oh,
both teams.
We've got a problem just,
It wasn't the quality.
Yeah,
But I think that reflects one of the issues that we have is that the game is being played for a convenience. Okay, for those kids. When it's not a convenience for them, then they say, well, I don't want to play anymore. It's what is
Well, once
hurting
you
this
get past-
hurting this league, you know what I mean?
Once you get past February and all that, and the girls
Yep,
that are
girls
older,
especially.
especially U18, 19,
Yeah,
they're done. They're
yeah,
going
absolutely.
home.
Exactly.
so no one in their right mind should schedule any of them, unless they're going to, unless they have a cohesive team, and the other guy does. Now, FC Tampa and West Florida, West Pasco had two good teams. Now, the game got fouled up somehow, but they wanted to play after
Yeah.
tuned up for
You
that.
don't see a true winner until almost 2.5 months before.
Correct. That's correct. There's no shortcomings. That's what we voted for as a group.
On the other side, if you go into State Cup, you need those games.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, I mean, I see.
I mean,
I don't, personally, I don't like it, myself, but there are way more people in favor of it.
Yeah, what I think really hurts is the overage, U18, U19.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, no, yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
They're the ones that push, they're the ones that push
They
for
were
it.
the big, the older age groups.
I see it as,
Yeah.
not like, Iceland.
But,
I told the, U18 Winter Haven team, I said, get everything. They got all their games in before the break.
you don't have to,
Under pressure.
you don't have to agree to it, so you say, our kids don't really do well in the
You
spring.
know, I expect.
And you see, you force everybody into it. You can actually do that yourself.
Exactly, yeah,
Well, some
exactly.
of the Region Cup too. I mean, you get some organizational things, going back and play 1-2 matches, without paying for a tournament.
And all the other age groups have really probably helped out.
We have a
An
lot.
older girl, very tough.
There is a drop off of interest by high school kids. You know, especially, when you get out of that, top 5 or 6 teams,
Have you seen more forfeits after?
We've only had 1 year.
We've only had one year. We don't know
we'll
what's.
find out this year, we'll find out.
Look, if we end up with a lot, we revisit it again and say, we bring it back to everybody and say, look, here's what we're finding, But
it's also the responsibility of the clubs
You want to say lost.
I just wonder.
to instill this responsibility in the kids, right? I mean, you start something, you shouldn't just say, well,
You have parents to get this.
You got teams playing several leagues,
Uh,
this, that, and the other, and all that. Yeah.
We'll see, we can revisit it though, year to year. We just really did this, last year, so this is the second year, we'll see how, now people are used to it, if they do better with it.
Last year they didn't.
From what I see already personally, it's not, because we got
This year
two
they-
teams playing that don't even know they've scheduled.
Yeah, they got good at
Next
it.
year.
Look at it all in.
Well, let's get to the end of the year awards. What do you want to do? You want to get a motion, or we agree on something?
place a motion to reward the winners of the Premier League youth,
Be Division 1 for
Yes.
what age
yeah,
group?
to U13 and up, and reimburse their cup or State Cup entry.
Okay, do you know
Yeah.
what the fee was? I can't find it.
It's 500 or 750 for the state, and the Region Cup is $250.
Region
So
Cup
we
was
put it,
$250. Why don't we say $250 for everybody?
State Cup is more expensive.
And like represent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
We want more
$250
there,
for
yeah.
Region Cup.
Well, we need to get those exact,
Just,
State Cup.
try to put a dollar figure
Yeah,
in,
just put
say whatever Region Cup fees are.
Yeah, we'll know.
net,
We will reimburse the net,
yeah.
not because it's State Cup, they got to put up with a.
What, that's why I
At least
wanted to know
250,
what
not
the dollar was.
I think it's $750 for state and $250 for region, that's what I think. $1,000, you think it was $1,000 last year, Mike? It
Yeah,
got
I mean, you get something back, yeah.
$250 back.
Teams that are entering Region Cup and State Cup that are Premier Leagues,
That
we will
was.
reimburse your entry fee.
Okay, so entry fee,
Net entry fee, because the state cup,
not
there
the
is a.
bond.
Yeah, not the bond, yeah.
Application fee.
Right, not the
Yeah,
bond.
would make the calendar.
Well, we're being pretty quick.
Yeah, we're being predictive, and then, I mean, I can check.
And then we'll trophy the rest of them, everyone will love the younger kids and the second and third divisions, and the older ones, trophies at some number,
The Division 2 and 3 winners will get a trophy?
13 to 18,
Will get a trophy?
yes.
What about the T-shirt deal we had
That's
last?
Well,
gone.
man,
We're not buying
forget that one, forget that one.
T-shirt business.
That was, yeah, well, the 9s and 10s, we don't have winners, right? We have medals.
But I mean, look, you know, this is nothing. I mean, I would say nothing.
We can reduce the anyway.
Yes, I would say nothing, yeah.
We haven't put a lot of medals, I know that's,
No.
look, I'm gonna be talking to some guys.
I mean, we are competitive, so we can't become we can't be an entitlement league. I mean, come on, we just.
Look at all the money we're collecting. Look at all the money we've gotten.
Yeah, but what do we get out of it?
Well, wait a minute. We don't have, first of all, we have money in the bank in the past years. We're almost dead even on what we collected this year, budget-wise. I'm not here to give it, money is there for, for the next couple of years, whether it's the clerical thing to keep going or whatever it's gonna be.
All our money.
League estimate, but this year, we did 125, guarantee you, we're gonna spend every penny of it.
What do we do?
Which,
What do we do with all the people?
well, see, comes out to
It just goes in there and.
yes, because in there, we'll see what we end up with, what the total is that we take in, and we'll know at the end of the year the total we spent. I'd bet anybody we're not gonna be over by more than 10, maybe,
Well, like
maybe
12
5.
and 13-year-olds, they could care less about medals, but 9 and 10-year-olds, I mean, that's.
They do, but we don't even get them to them.
Yeah.
We don't get them to them.
I deliver my areas personally.
You're good, but we had, I mean, I tell you, how many of those things, did you see the AGM and see the T-shirt, I mean, it was like, here to all this stuff, you know.
Oh, that's accumulation.
No, I know, but it's what happens.
Linda's still got.
The medals are extremely, in my opinion, the medals are extremely difficult.
You know,
People don't even.
you give to coaches, then coaches are out of season, they don't have the teams together, they hold on to it.
Or you haven't got the
I
proper
guarantee they go to all the clubs, I bet you, any club, there are bunches of medals laying around clubs.
Look, we understand, and we're with you. It's just as long as it takes for them to get home and hang it up, put it in.
Exactly.
My 16-year-old son still has.
I'm with you.
It's a very cynical group there.
Out of the 10,000 medals we
Yeah.
get.
Exactly.
Doing away with the T-shirt, you're not gonna give anything to
We're not doing away with that
You're
whole.
only gonna reward premier division,
No,
and we're not gonna we can.
9s and 10s.
Yeah. Because we'll play in the future. They will play into the future.
We have.
Trophies,
Trophy.
are we doing trophies,
Yeah.
or we?
For the winner.
For the 11s and 12s.
Yeah.
Just 15.
That's it.
Yeah.
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 Not for. Budget on there, I think back there we.
We'll determine how much per trophy, you'll figure out what makes sense, and we'll go with it, you know. Yeah, it'll be more than, I mean,
And then we'd have to have them, I mean, what are we gonna
the
do?
marble and gold is just not gonna be, good this year. There's nice ones out there for $30. You look at the, website, it's not too bad.
Now, should we mail them to the coaches of the teams? See, I'm getting them to come here and hauling them around is a royal pain.
We don't even bring anybody here. So now we've got a central location.
Now we've got to mail them, I mean, whatever we do, we're gonna have to mail.
Well, can you get boxed, have them send them?
Well, either that or have them come in boxes and then you can print out a label. I mean, once we print out a label,
We're gonna do that, you and we come to your house or something.
it'll be Sherry's, yeah.
To any one of these.
She's,
That
would be a question to ask.
mhm,
You want it boxed though, sure, that way you can send it, resend it,
mhm.
and you want it in some form that Terry isn't taping them
We don't
and
want
wrapping them.
a single soccer doing a scissor kick on
Right, it's gonna break and ship.
that extends the
Exactly.
But they're gonna have to come in a box, so Sherry can just put a label on them and ship them to the head coach.
I've done back before, that, they did come in a box.
Wax would work.
A rack would be,
Instead of that chintzy plastic.
Yeah.
a nice one for more than that, Frank, even. I mean, black is kind of an award.
It's a winner.
Expensive.
Good idea. Who
Easier to
did
deal
this?
with too, because then you can put it on a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it'll take up room on a shelf.
it's good dust.
Easier to ship.
Well, I'm with the flag.
It's much easier to
Yeah.
dust.
I think we should get black.
All right.
A nice flag.
Yeah, I mean, they
A nice
go,
yeah.
And even,
Those can come in a
even
box.
if it was a buck or two for one of those little plate holders
Mm-hmm,
type deal,
yeah,
a plate holder.
yeah.
So just a thing where you don't want to stick it on the wall, they can
Mhm.
stick it on a shelf. On this
oh, I got you, it's a stand, a little thing, they got holes in the back for it. Yeah.
I like to deal with it, I never had a problem with it.
It's like this, yeah.
Apply, that would be much easier to mail.
A little piece of wire.
What do you think?
If you go to the website, they're doing a million of them. Yeah, you're a 50, the Crown Awards.
Just order one from them with.
9 by 12? I would say 5 by
How do we get the teams right? Is that a difficult thing to get them to put the team on it properly?
5 by 8.
I have to send
Yeah.
it,
5 by 8.
Yeah, but this,
but I'd be a little concerned about drop shipping directly.
Okay, all right, you're right.
Yes,
Get 'em back,
I think
we'll get 'em
they all need to come so that you can print the label out. That way, if
Put
they
the
come
return
back.
address that, so that you'll have some plaques in the future too. Go with the trophies you have and the T-shirts.
So, I mean, we could,
You go to
we
business.
could send those coaches an email and say, in advance, and just show that it's
Correct.
correct.
Yeah. I mean, easier to have the company that supplies the plaques to
Okay.
drop ship it
It
to.
would. I guess if I had enough lead time, I
Yeah.
could say couldn't bring it.
Exactly.
Well, but Alan's point is, some of them you're gonna be getting, it's gonna be like June.
Yeah.
Because we're not gonna know who they are until
Yeah, but that's.
April
The older one, send it to the club and say, you know what you guys got? I think we got a couple of them.
Wait a minute, but I mean, we can have them ordered and ready. I mean, be ready April 1st, and then she just ships the list names to ship them.
Yeah, but it could be, yeah.
But it'll be April 1st before.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think, with these online companies, what does it matter whether you ship 20 one time and 10 another time?
No, it won't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so they're not gonna be getting them in June. They should have them by the middle of April.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Give them time to pay their taxes.
That'll be fine.
Also, a suggestion, do you keep, I don't recall what you put on the previous
Division.
group or anything like that.
I think we would, if we're gonna do them early, I think we just go, division winner.
I want a generic, because you don't want the under 19 girls getting the ship to the 13 boys. That wouldn't necessarily be our problem, it would be the vendor for the right plaque and the right.
Or do we push it?
The right address.
But if we have them all say
So they're
division
all
winner.
labeled the same, division 19, or, 2014, 15, division
winner.
winner.
But the club name on it?
I'm telling you, I just stay away from stuff you say.
Division winner.
I'd love to, but can you understand what your problems you're creating for the vendor? Match up, especially if they're gonna ship them for us.
Them shipping them, I think Linda's right, should ship them out of our own thing, so if we get some of them back. I think you could, but if they aren't to the right address, they're gonna get them back, not us, so we won't have them. So Jerry won't be able to hold them.
I'm just throwing out
But I-
opportunity.
If we get them in and they're wrong, that placing them becomes a very time-consuming thing, whereas if they're generic,
It's a nightmare.
division winner,
Their options are, I'm just throwing out.
I'll do whatever you want. I just give them the verbiage. But, it is really, when I get them, I spread them all out in the garage and
Yeah,
and
you're
make
trying
sure they're all right.
And have it right?
I've never had one wrong, but it takes a lot of time to
Yeah.
make sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm,
Yeah.
they're all simple.
we got a format.
Yeah.
And the U-15 girls, it's like in Division II, right? You got it out.
We'd see it.
They're still different divisions. They're division winners.
They're division.
Play in one game, so you win total.
No, that's no here.
We'd rather be black.
The less matchmaking we do, the better. We have enough problems.
Close, good, could be close, buddy.
We're counting 500 teams that all this play. That last one's a killer.
We're looking at that 9 o'clock thing. Come on, anyone else?
Get close.
I don't know,
Are we voting on that,
Well, I think we did, and we, is that well, you made a motion, Plex things.
Second, vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, and we'll let you guys, if there's something that has to be decided, don't want to do, we'll decide on emails quickly.
I'll look at samples and send
Yeah, like Senator Murray, he's got an eye for the Plex stuff.
I got use like flag for everything. We got a winner flag for everything.
I think you go around to each and present it as a representative of the USA.
Right.
Now, sure.
Oh, wait a minute. Where are the shirts?
And Frankie, baby.
Where are the
It's a Valentine's gift, Paul. Our Valentine's, we get a kiss with it too.
You know what you're usually gonna kiss with, huh?
That's funny. All righty, what else?
All right. Revised game report for next year. That's gotta be you.
I just want to let you know some thoughts that I had on the issues we've had with referees. So I've looked at this and Sherry did over it. I'm going to make it bigger. Some thoughts I've had to make life a little bit easier. I know we eventually want to get away from paper, but until we can, I have this a little bit clearer. What we have is an awful lot of handwriting that has to go on that 3-part game report that's redundant on the game card. So I've removed it all. I removed the referee, because we don't have all that information about the referee on this game report.
Well, let's say something. We're not far enough to see. Why don't we hold this? Yes, work on it.
Oh, that's what right, exactly. That's what
And we'll see. Whatever you think. Yes, yeah. Well, whatever you think.
Okay,
is good. I'm good with it.
And I've changed it so that this is instructions to the ref as to how to fill out the online game report.
Free upload of game cards to webpage, the same thing, right?
It's similar, because the game cards we want from the referee, and it's very time-consuming for us to get them in an email and upload them and do what we're doing.
Right.
So our
So
web...
come up with a
wait a minute.
simplified thing, and we'll vote on it next meeting.
Our web hosting thing is looking at it, so it probably costs us several $100s to come up with a
Does it
program.
save time for everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
Look at the stuff on the back. We need to
Yes, we need to revise that too,
on the back side.
which is posted on our website, yeah. So, yes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that all has to be done too, but I'm trying to simplify the writing, make it so much less, so the referee only has to put down exactly what he needs. Nothing else. So I removed bunches of information that referees were filling out. So it speeds the paperwork at the game.
Our last item, well, we don't know last item, but next, Group 5, Liverpool. Group 5, what is that?
Sure.
All right, well, give a proper name. What are we looking for from FYSA? Permission to?
Permission to host international games.
Yeah, it's on the, if you go to the FYSA, website, it's on there.
Hey, you, Linda, that's what we need in the worst way. That particular, isn't there another one?
That and permission to host games.
All right,
It's a combination, but
Yeah.
the first one is the permission to host international games. If that's been filed and that's there, then the club needs permission for a tournament based on what you've got in this letter, which I'm trying to pull up
I don't
here.
think it's a tournament.
yeah, so this is the application to host international games checklist.
Yeah, that's the checklist after you've, right, you've got a form that you've got to fill in.
But I think that FYSA,
If you,
they've been talking to FYSA. FYSA will direct them as to what to do.
Linda's right. Let's get that form and make sure we got that form.
I would be surprised if FYSA didn't say that.
that's the form you need,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I don't know,
Because YSA has to send it to US Soccer for approval.
yes, and then you get it back.
Yeah,
So
but
if it's
that's-
been done, then the club that requested it has a copy,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because that's
Well, it'll be us, that'll be
Yeah,
you.
exactly, yeah.
Exactly, so that's,
Or-
yeah, where I was going with, the SIP was sent out, which I don't have up here, I can.
The wording may not be 100%, but it's got, we've got to get it quickly, so just,
I'm gonna read this, because the problem that we've got with the memo that Zach sent me was,
Okay.
Zach said, USA has a very special opportunity coming up in March. Well,
Good.
it's,
Let's say, because we are allowing USA, we are saying, come on in, say, we're letting it, that's a minor point, and
Okay,
not
this-
legal.
okay.
We do have a good opportunity. USA,
With this in mind,
Everybody in.
USA will hold all-star team
there you go,
identification
cut that
tryouts.
out, cut that out.
Yeah. Yeah. You bet.
Then hold tryouts and get, select a team, though, that's already been.
Tried that.
Yeah. And you need to speak to Jennifer Barton, we'll make sure that's the case. The union, that's good, but let's just say it. But they would have told him already that you can't do that.
I think you might want to talk to Brian Batchelor.
Yeah, it was ever his thought, I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to see something from them, this is okay to do, period. That's all I want to know.
The problem is when you get something from them, the FYSA
Well, it's gotta
about
be somebody
doing
that
it,
is an official with
the it
FYSA.
has to
Hey,
be
Frank, don't go
specific.
to the, what we're gonna do is just, we don't stir it up anymore.
You guys have one.
the thing is, they expect you to fill out a form and send it to them that they will approve, so you have to know what it is you're doing.
Yep.
You get permission for something and have something
We'll have tryouts or something, why don't we just have the coaches going,
Well, because if they don't show or anything else, we're gonna have some selection, we're not gonna
Not
try
a tryout,
out.
it's just
We're gonna
tryout
select,
as much as that,
we're gonna select the teams.
it's like a team, that's all it is.
We're gonna have a select team if you're interested in being part of that
an
team.
FC Tampa select team, because that's what you're gonna be, is dual roster to an FC Tampa team. And it's not listed in here. I think you need to put down that
Well,
players.
it may not be, it doesn't have to be FC Tampa, it could be any one of our clubs. We talked to Everton already about doing it too. We'll dual roster to a club, it has to be an individual club.
Okay.
Yeah, but
They may be the ones getting
FC
the-
Tampa gets the permission, then that's the one.
Well, we already have, because we already have games scheduled with the camp. So I think that,
So then that's all we need to work,
yeah,
selecting,
it'd probably be easier just making them FC Tampa also, because we also have there's a Thursday match with two actual FC Tampa teams. This one, just using it as a placeholder to say, because a club, USA can't do this, a club has to be, they will dual roster every two that team.
I think there's, from a,
And if,
because it's an international match, I think even referees are gonna have to be
Yes, sir.
through
who,
Jimmy Barr, State
State of
We got time.
or it could actually come all the way up.
what we don't have time, we gotta at least tell people when to, for the selection. All this stuff, if we find that not 100%, so no exposure to anybody, we'll stop field and actually play. If not, we won't.
Yeah.
And we'll look, Linda as the gatekeeper to say, not that she's got to get anything, but it's, since she understands the process, let's make sure that we are vetted and we've got everything in the process.
What we need to have is,
Well, we need to rewrite that to send out.
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Just edit it a little bit, Linda, take out the odious things, say select team and tryouts. We will select the team, we send players that you think are worthy of selection.
to
Those deals at that date.
Schimberg. Well, the thing is, we need to make sure they know who the club is that's actually sponsor. It has to be FC Tampa. If FC Tampa's name is in here, everything only says USA and it can't. Because USA didn't get that permission to host.
it can, to tell the kids to show up, just tell them to show up at those fields to be selected for an international game. We'll tell them who's when they get there. You know, we're inviting everybody who is USA in these age groups. It's gonna be a USA game. Well,
And I know that I'm being very specific, but I think we have to be, because it starts off with USA League.
You know, I don't
has
like
a
that.
very special opportunity.
I don't
If
want
it
us
was-
stepping out any more than we already have. In other words, the
If it was
fact is that
saying
we're.
USA League is, advising
FC
you.
Tampa in cooperation with the USA League.
Yeah, see,
There we go.
that would be fine, but when
There we
it
go.
says USA,
That's good, yeah, you're right, though. I mean, it isn't USA.
it isn't
Put that out of
USA.
there.
FC Tampa in cooperation with the USA.
Yeah,
Put together a representative team
exactly.
Yeah.
against Liverpool team.
That, we're cooperating with FC Tampa, we're
Yeah.
supporting.
Get that, what you're comfortable with in the verbiage there.
Yeah, but when it says USA will, it's like,
Okay,
we can't, we don't have,
what's in there?
All part.
What else is in there that we need to look at?
coaches are asked to send players to spine, coaches are asked, coaches are reminded. That was,
So everything else you like
that was, it's those two things.
Okay, good.
It was, but that was,
Very good. No, you're right, absolutely right. If you would redo that, shoot it to all of us as a
Yeah.
thing, just to see it again, and then we're gonna send it out to the kids in those age groups, that is 19, 16, and 17.
yeah, it's easy to do.
And then
That's
the
the
clubs
most-
also,
Post
I
it on
told
the
a couple of
website.
them, yep, great. But get it,
Yeah,
the way
so
you're comfortable mentioning.
Yeah, and
See, I don't want it to seem like that's all right. Somebody has to, he told me this a month ago, a club has to be,
yeah, I mean, just to give,
we're already doing it, so we're already in there.
and from that, in that letter would be the of the Liverpool,
Right. They see,
the opportunity to play against the
Well, that's
Liverpool.
what- yeah,
yeah,
that's
see,
solid.
but
Rest
you've
of it's
already
pretty
done
good.
all that work. See, if USA had applied for the permission to host, then we would
Understand.
have that in our name,
Yeah.
and then we could say USA is.
Yeah, no, that's fine, so.
Can we host and not have a team?
Of course, the tournament is. What do you think Disney does? Disney, an associate
So
affiliate
that's,
who hosts
next year,
tournaments.
that's what we gotta do, if we're gonna
That's what you
continue
do.
this.
That's what associate affiliates do. They host tournaments and run leagues.
I
But
just think
problem
he'd go do it, but he had to do it for your team anyway. So he had to do it for FC Tampa, Tampa actual teams. So while he was doing it, we said just get it for the rest of us. Get the
I think
summation.
what he did was I'm pretty sure, I know what he asked, and that's why she said, oh, just do a roster. Instead of giving a permission to host games, was asking for. I think, he asked for oranges when he wanted apples.
Well, say that again.
I think he asked for oranges when he wanted apples.
I heard that one, I think I heard it in second grade, as a matter of fact. How about the one before that I haven't
6
heard?
minutes, good, 6 minutes, buddy.
Oh, when
6 minutes, buddy.
he sent
4
me,
minutes.
I'm gonna
when
push
he
it.
sent me
Push
the
it.
email that said that Mary had said just dual roster them,
Yes.
that's because he got permission for the FC Tampa teams to play the Liverpool team. So she was saying, yeah, dual roster these other players to those teams in that game, because that
We
was.
have multiple FC Tampa teams, so as long as there is an FC Tampa team registered with FYSA, we'll do a roster to that team.
Exactly,
Even though those kids probably won't be on it, or won't be.
exactly.
Mike's will, because they're better teams than they. That's the Thursday match.
Mhm.
Okay, they're gonna be FC Tampa teams that probably will have very few of the original FC
And
Tampa
one-
players
Yeah.
on those, what do you call them, on the placeholders, just the placeholder team,
And,
registered with FYSA.
right, and I may put in here,
Because they were limited to how many dual rostered players you can have.
no,
Okay.
you have an entire team of secondary players.
We have to explain to the kids exactly how to do it, and that the coach
You
not
don't
gonna,
explain to the kids,
well,
you
the
have.
coaches, the kids, whoever, that we're not taking our kids, and they're not coming.
The thing is, and all those clubs,
Okay,
let me tell you what's gonna have to happen for this to do. You're gonna get a list of, let's say, 25 kids, and Elda's gonna have to send a request to dual roster all those, FYSA, and FYSA has to contact the other club and give permission,
Okay.
and then FYSA will put them on the roster.
Fine.
It's not as easy as it sounds.
Okay. So if them fail to do that, then they will not be playing.
Exactly.
Good.
Club says no.
Well, we probably need to hand them something in writing and tell them this is what's gonna happen.
they would not think I was here?
Ah, that's right.
Okay. you know, not know how to write the instructions.
Hey, meeting, can we, someone, hang on, we gotta adjourn. 2 minutes.
I have a short
Meeting adjourned.
All right.
I have a short thought. Maybe you don't wanna talk about this,
What's
but
that?
I just had a brainstorm. Maybe you won't like it, maybe Melissa will. A plaque, right in this complicated thing of